All right. There you go, Don.
Hi, Don. Trisha's probably in the background. Hi, Trisha.
So the first place that we go is designs. We actually have to design the template first before we can actually send it out. And so you can see the ones that I have in here. Most of them I start with a template that Keller Williams gave me, and then I update it for what I want to use it for. And so today we're going to do an open house one. And the open house, there's 3 different templates that you can actually choose from and then build out. So to get there, we just hit the plus sign. And then we come up and it's already selected on email since I was in the email filter. And then I just hit next. Here's where I get to choose if I want to start from scratch or if I want to start from a template. So let's just start from scratch so you guys can see what it looks like. And I just click create a new template up there. And you can see everything is blank in here. But now we do have a couple of these new widgets that we can pull into the emails. So for instance, we could put in there a legal header. It's going to drop in my information there. Maybe I'll put in a, let's see, let's do a picture in here. It's not where I wanted it.
Oh, that art picture is great.
Let's see. And this is why I don't really like using these, because they are a pain. But, so let's just get out of here.
Let's go to templates. I was about to say, with me, it's always easier starting with the easy stuff.
Yep. And so like creating from scratch doesn't seem like there's a good way to do it. But then when you look at these templates, you can see there's 23 templates in here now.
What was that option that just came up at the bottom? You could check to import pictures and videos. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Import.
You just can't click it.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, it's been there for a while.
It just doesn't do anything?
Correct.
That's awesome.
All right. So let's take
our industry uses coming soon even on tech.
Exactly. So we have the modern, the different modern templates, which is what I actually sent out today. I used the open house modern template. We have the classics, and then we have the approachables. And so it's the same different set, just in those different designs. And then, of course, you have the other ones that are a little bit older. Here we have the Work With Me seller. We've seen these before. These do go out in some of the smart plans. All right, so we do have the approachable. The basic ones are the ones that are just basic email templates. So let's just look at the approachable basic real quick before we jump into one of the open house ones. But you can see this one is centered for you. It's very simple. It's pretty much just a headline, text, and a button to take them out somewhere. And now it's incredibly easy to set up this information, to edit this. Before, setting up a button was a huge headache. But here, now that we're going to get into a template that has a picture as well. So let's actually jump into one of the open house templates. Are you curious about any of the designs, Brian? Do you want to see modern, approachable, classic, or?
I was curious what what the different layouts are. Well, I don't understand what that actually is, what you mean by approachable, classic, and modern.
Okay.
Is modern like more of the squares, approachable is like a teddy bear, and then classic is like Roman time text? Or I just don't know. Pretty
much. I mean, so you see some differences in like, you know, the modern one has like a left-facing typeset and right-facing, and it's a little bit more modern looking. Whereas like the classic, all centered, approachable. Let's look at the approachable one. I mean, I don't know why they call it approachable. It's really
it's softer. It's softer. It's just simple.
Yeah, rounded corners you see on the picture.
Yeah.
Instead of, you know, it's just little touches like that. Font changes, alignment changes, but otherwise it's pretty much similar. So this is the open house one from approachable.
So does it you saying it automatically puts in market center name?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Well, that's actually a picture up there. And that's pulling the picture from my marketing profile, my market center picture. That's what it's doing there.
So your picture of you.
No, it's my brokerage logo that it's pulling. So that's why the Keller Williams DBA was up there, because it pulls it from there. Okay. All right, so that was the approachable open house compared to, say, like the classic open house. Let's look at this one. More Times New Roman, centered, I think, as well.
That's exact font.
Very classic, like nothing fancy here. And so now you can go in and all of them kind of just have this same look to them. It just listed, just sold. They do have different looks. Where this one, you know, the open house one has 3 pictures and a little bit of text to use. And then the same little contact bubble at the bottom, download my app. That's pretty much the same on all of them. We also have the button that goes out. So let's go through and actually update this. So the first one, like you said, this one is my Market Center actual DBA logo. So one thing to do is know the eyeballs up here for your preview, because that'll actually show you what the email will look like when it goes out. Uh-oh. There we go. It's taking its sweet time. But there we go. So that's the logo it's pulling for me, because that's what I have as my Market Center logo. Now, if you don't want that logo, say you want to put in your own logo, all you do is just when the cell is highlighted, you just come over and you either hit the pencil or you can just double click on the cell. And I'll double click. Then it opens up this editing pane. We can see the alternate text we have in here. So if we wanted to put in a different one to have it like auto populate in here from our marketing profile, we could put it in here. Or we can just hit replace. And
Like
then
if we custom made something that was like our own logo with the KW one, not that I obviously have not done that because you haven't taught me how to do that yet. But if I did something like that, then I could then just upload that as it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And so, you know, your DBA would just have to be in the email somewhere if you're doing it for like marketing, if you're sending it out to people that is like
Yeah. I figure I eventually will make something that's my logo and our DBA together so that anytime I put it on something, it automatically, I just have to upload one, and then instead of like taking both and trying to figure out where to put them,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
Yeah. Let's see. So let's just toss in a logo. Maybe I want to put that one in there. Oh, wrong extension. That one's a PDF. Let's see. Do I have another logo? I feel like I should have a GoCo Living logo somewhere in here.
You got my stuff in there for sure.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
All right, shows up down here. One thing to make sure to click on this. That's how you get the replace option to show up. If you don't have that clicked, it won't let you click replace. So we hit replace, looks good in there. And then you have to hit done for this to actually make the change. If you click out of this, if I clicked on open house right now, this wouldn't save and it would all go away, right? And so you need to make sure to click done, then it will put it in there. And so now let's take a look at our preview.
Doesn't look so good.
Nope, it doesn't, does it? It looks like it's kind of smashed, so we need to fix that. It needs to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to come in, double click on the photo again, and I want to change my width to make it a little bit wider. We know that, I think this is a 300 pixel image, isn't it?
Your guess is better than mine, man.
I'm almost positive it is. So let me set it at 300 width. I hit done again, and then it resizes. Easy as that. Now, sometimes if you don't know your pixel lengths, you can usually look it up in the information about that specific file, if it's like a PNG or something like that. So you can get that exact width if you need it to. You can also come in here and notice you can edit the photo. And the edit's very, very basic. It's only crop and rotation. But that can help if you have a picture that doesn't seem like it's fitting right. You can come in and just change the ratio, maybe setting it to something like 9:16 is the classic ratio for, say, Facebook or an iPhone screen in the landscape mode. And so you can help yourself with that if you want to size things a little differently. You can see if we size that one, we would have to bring it in just like that. Hit save. It crops the image. Shouldn't make a difference in ours. Did make it a little bit smaller. And that's one way that you can kind of use the system to resize it to the appropriate size. But just make sure that if you set it to like, say like 9:16, you would want to set these to about that same ratio. And right now we're at a 1:2 ratio. So that's That's why it's
Uh,
set up like this.
I have some hats being made with that exact logo.
Nice. Am I gonna get one?
You want one? Sure.
I asked another agent for hats that he made, and he was like, "Yeah, they're only like $40. You can buy one." And I was like, "Oh, I
What?
don't
No.
spend $40 on somebody else's hat, but if you have
Yeah, right. You're gonna wear my logo. You can have it.
it, yeah." See, yeah, definitely. Your logo is cool. I'll definitely sport that.
That's why I made that logo so people would wear it. I'm not even kidding. I made it so people would not be like, "Oh, this is a realtor thing. Throw it in the trash." They'd be like, "Oh, that is cool. Like it passes for any Colorado thing."
There you go. All right. Well, any questions about editing pictures or anything like that?
So yeah, we just click on the picture below, the
This
main one. Yeah. So if I click on it, I can do the normal thing, or where do I upload? So then I have to go to images or
So-
edit.
Yep. So we'll get it. When we want to replace a photo, you either double click on it or hit the pencil. So let's hit the pencil this time. And it's right now, it's just this gray picture that's in there. So let's replace it. And let's actually use the listing images to replace it. So I already have a listing pulled up. I was having trouble personally searching by address. So I pulled the listing's MLS number and switched this to MLS number.
I didn't know we could do that.
Yeah. So that's sometimes a little easier, especially if like this one, when you put in the address, like 40 other listings come up from previous times, right? And so I couldn't find it in that mess. So I just use this, boom, it throws that in there for me. And then I can select whatever photo I want that was uploaded. So let's choose this one, hit replace. And then I have to hit done again to put the photo in there. And we'll do the same thing here. Edit, replace. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't save the listing info in here. I'm sure it will at some point, but I just have to go in there and search again. That's why I also like using the MLS number. Let's do this picture. Replace,
It's a good angle.
done. And then we do the same thing here. All right, we're gonna replace this, listing images, come in, drop in our MLS, switch our criteria to the MLS, click on the photo, and let's do the living room. And hit done. And so there we go. Our photos are dropped in. It's as simple as that. Now you see the ones that are showing up at the very beginning when I replace the image. These my images, anything that I upload in here is what kind of gets saved in this area. So you can see these last few are now in my images because it kind of just keeps.
You have my listing in there too.
Have a what?
My listing, my listing right next to Art's face.
Oh yes, yeah. I was using that as a something. I don't remember what I was using it for, but it got
Use it away.
All right.
Use it.
So images, pretty simple to use. Like I said, you have the alternative text is the short description that displays when subscribers cannot access an image. That's also pulling in those tags, say like these down here. These, I can't remember the name, merge tags, that's what they're called. Let's see.
Question for you. Can you change that red if you don't want to go with the Keller Williams red?
This red right here on this bar?
Yeah.
You sure can. Let's see how we.
I hate the Keller Williams red.
You hate it?
I don't hate it, but with the pictures, like look at see the pictures of the chairs, that green. So if you brought that green in, it would kind of bring all the pictures together because there's other colors that match kind of with that turquoise green.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't go with the house. But what do I know? I don't decorate, but.
So I don't know if we can change this red bar. I know that there was a way to do it in the past, but I'm not sure if we have that ability any longer. Content, yeah, I don't think we can change that. Now we can change the color of some of these other ones, like the buttons. Here, you definitely can change the button color. We can see that right over here. It's not easy to. I would suggest that if you want to change it to a color that you're using, don't try and like poke around here and guess what color it is. Use the actual hex color number, which is just a 6-digit number that you can generally get you can see the number when you're even in command. When you select a color, it'll tell you the hex color. And just come in, I would say, and paste in your hex color here instead of trying to guess like, oh, where is that like you know, that exact light blue color that I wanted. Or you pick one in here and then you write it down and save it so that you don't forget it in the future. So let's do that, hit done, and you can see we can change the button colors pretty easily. But it looks like that background color, not yet. I know that we will have that ability at some point because changing this is pretty simple, honestly, as we were changing, you know, the button. It's usually that easy, but maybe that background image, they don't give us that access anymore. So hopefully that's
weird.
All right, let's talk about text. Editing text in here, same thing. We either use the pencil or we double click. Let's double click Open House. I'm not sure why, but everything shows up one space down and 2 tabs over to start with. You can see if I double click in here. Oops, let's cancel this one and then double click in here. Everything starts there. It doesn't seem to reflect that in here, but if I, you know, hit space or something in here and then click done, then it will reflect that page break at the top and those few spaces that I used. It's centered, so it's just keeping it centered. But
Okay.
you can see if I do take this out now, and because if you're going to edit this, we're going to take it out. Let's see, what was my address? Well, I know it was 156th.
That's pretty up there.
In Broomfield, Colorado. Now, I can change the font in here if I'd like on this. What I like to do though personally is I just work in steps. I don't try and do too many things at once because I want to be able to go back if I need to. So since I've changed the text, I'm just going to hit done. Check that, it looks good. Now maybe I want to make that text a little bit bigger. So I go back in. Now we have this font here selection that says 16 points. If I come in and I want it really big, I want it 60. I want it as 60 point. And then if I just hit done, you can see nothing happened. The reason is you have to select the text before you change it. So we have to come in here and actually change it. And you'll see it change in the text editing window. So now you come in and change it to 60. And the text actually changes to 60. And then when I hit done, now it actually changes to 60, but we can see that's way too small. Can't fit all that text in there. So we probably need to make that a little bit smaller. So this one, and remember it's a template, so we don't have complete control to change all these sizes. Like we saw, we can't change the color. I can't change the size of these boxes if I wanted to fit in something. So you are a little limited. You have some leeway, like I said, but we're not able to just come in and drag these box sides out to make them a little bit larger. And so just be aware of that. Let's see, same thing with these. If we want to edit the text, let's talk about changing the font. Same thing, you have to highlight the text inside the editor and then change your font. There's only a few fonts to choose from. Let's see, bump that up a little bit to 20. And it will change in here. You can see that the font does change along with me changing it in here. So if you want to see what it looks like, you can actually see what the font is doing in size and what it looks like. So let's leave it as the Baskerville and hit done. Made it a little bit bigger. And that's it. That's editing text. Longer text, no different. Just come in here. And you can take out that little bit of extra space that it drops in with. You can also use merge tags in here. So if we wanted to say, hi, let's see, so many options. Contact first name. So we have all these different ways that you can add in these as well. So I would say, I'm not going to read through this whole list of them, but there are a ton of different things that you can drop into your emails that will be specific. So if you're like a rainmaker or something like that, that's why there's so much of this agent stuff in here as well, because you might want to write these out that one of your agents on your team will eventually be able to share this, and they can just use that instead of actually having to switch out the names and such. But also you have all this contact info, right? We have contact first, last, email, phone, birthday, home anniversary, all those different options to throw into emails. to help you kind of customize that for your clients. All right. Let's see. Of course, you have all kinds of different options in here. One thing that I love that they added is this little link in here. You can hyperlink text. So if I want to do something like hello, and let's put a link over that. And we're just going to send it out to my website. And hit save. And done. And so we can see now, when we open up this preview, we should have a link in that text. So if you want to put a hyperlink, right? Because it doesn't actually show the link. You can just make it a hyperlink so it'll still link out. It doesn't link out in the preview. I'll tell you that right now. I know it's not going to work.
Can I tell you that hyperlinks along with, which I don't think you taught, actually a title rep taught me, and then hyperlinks mixed with how to make folders along with how to copy and paste and do all that stuff with my keyboard, which you definitely taught me, are all the most amazing things I've ever done on a computer.
Shortcuts?
Shortcuts and learning how to do a hyperlink. I was like so excited about that.
Well, I want to try something else. I haven't actually tried this in here. So one thing I wanted to mess with is seeing if we can actually hyperlink a photo. S colon / Steven.co.com. So we're going to see if we can link that picture out to a website. That's what it should be saying that we're doing there. Let's see. And I don't think there's anything else I need to go over in here. Oh, so yeah, you can change font color as well in here. So same thing, you'll just highlight the font or highlight the text you want to change. And then we have this color selector right here. Let's put it in Brian's. Looks like we're pretty limited. We don't have any kind of custom options if we want to go.
Right there. Go with the greenish color, greenish blue, or
This
any
thing?
of them. The one, right, one up, two up, yep, next over. Oh, well, that one works too.
All right. Okay, so we can change the font colors. All right. So now let's talk about
Into turquoise and teals now.
now
The
we get-
what?
Oh, go ahead.
What were you gonna say? Sorry, it keeps cutting out.
Oh, now we get to start with the button. And so the button is just a button that links out to other options. So we have to hit the pencil here. Let's see. So we can edit the button text. So view listings, that's the clear and easy one to do for an open house, right? And all I would do is go in here and then go back to my web page. And then let's just find this listing again.
So you're pretty much making a hyperlink.
Yep, exactly. That's all a button is, just a picture with a hyperlink connected behind it, right? And the picture is just this little square.
I think it's weird that we call, I know we're real estate agents and we call everything listings, but like, I think first-time home buyers, it takes them a while to figure out what the hell listing even means. Like,
It took me a while to figure it out, just like in general. Like as an agent, I was like, wait, listings mean what? Wait, what?
it just doesn't make sense. Like maybe view home or view future home.
View property.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. And so we can set this to a landing page. So if you have if you've made a landing page for this, it's going to show up right in here in your list of landing pages. We can also select a merge tag to put in here. So again, we can, I'm actually not sure what it links to with these. Let's see what happens when we do market center. Let's go.
See if you have your app.
Well, I want to know
Sure.
what it's because I'm trying to link this button out. So let's see what happens. Well, there's only one way to see what happens, and we can't see what happens until later. So we'll see what happens with that once we start the campaign, and we can send out a test email. But let's talk about just this one down here. We have also my download my app button. I can edit this, but let's talk about the selections. We've already kind of talked a little bit about the color changer. We can see we can round the corners if we'd like to soften it a little bit and have the border radius selected. let's see, we can change the font. We can change the position of the text to center, right, or left. And then, of course, we can change the size of the button. And the most important part is where does the button link to? So you can see down in here, it's not linked to anything by default. So you need to do that yourself. And
You link it to your app.
exactly.
Of your web address.
Yep. So I'm going to do, let's see, no other options. Let me see if there is any, my app. Here we go. I just saw it. Download my app. Looks like some of your own web pages show up in there, not just landing pages. Let's see, where did it go?
The HomeBot page is my favorite.
There we go. Download my app. We'll use that one. All right, but the buttons are real easy to use. But that's it. That's our template. And so I would say, you know, edit this text in the future if you're actually sending these out. But all I'm going to do now is just click done to save that button. And then options here, I can send a test email from here. Right on. So let's send myself a little test email. Send test. Usually doesn't take too long to send the test through. And while that's going, we're just going to hit save and exit. And we can see there's our template that we just created. Now, if I was doing something, I would have changed that name because you can see it can get really confusing if you don't change the names because you'll only be able to see by the date. And so if I want to edit that, I can come in, I can click on it right here on this screen. I can change the cover image, rename, make a copy or delete from here as well. Now, this is the first step to doing this. Then you also have to, we have to create a campaign. But you can't create a campaign with emails unless you have a list of people inside of your campaign. So let's take a look at where that's all set up. And if you're not sure if you do, that's okay. This is where you'll go, is you go to campaigns, and then we're gonna go to emails.
%, huh? Am I that 1%?
Look at that. Clicks, 1, 2. All right.
Clicks was me. Wait, did I click?
I don't know. I don't know how accurate those are.
I mean, I opened it and emailed you back.
All right, so here's the email. Looks nice. Let's see.
Click on the hello, see if it works.
Yeah, I want to click on all these.
So that didn't work.
Well, this is the one that was linked. And that, I don't know if Google is just messing with it. I don't know why Google's like asking me to download the image like that. Let's see if hello works. Hey, that one works. And now let's check the buttons. Oh, so when I linked it out to that merge tag, and then when they click on it, it just pretty much makes that, just sends them to a link where that image is. That's a string. I don't know how I would use that. Let's see, download my app.
Does it link, scroll down further?
That's as far as it goes.
So it doesn't have your name on it though. It says download my app, but it doesn't link to you. It's just a video. Unless, does it send them to your, oh yeah, it is. Look at your number up there.
There we go.
Is that you? Scroll down further.
There I am.
Yeah. Okay, so it works. So we can't do it to,
yeah, that's just
landing page.
Crappy landing page that I made right here. It just needs to be a landing page, but
I think mine is just as good.
Send them right to here, right? Like I would just use this link. If I was actually sending this email out, I would just use this page right here as the one it goes to, right? I wouldn't send them first here and then have them click there to get here. I just send them directly from that button, you know? And this is just your app link. That's where your app link goes to, is this page that's for you, and people can just enter their phone number and it sends them the link from there. All right. So there's our email. Now let's see, how do we send this out? So we need to first take a look at our lists. So we're in campaigns. We're in campaigns, and we want to go over here and see if you have any lists. So we're going to hit this configure list button over here.
This takes you to where you can pick everyone in it that's tagged a certain thing. I'm gonna love it.
Not in here. So you can set up a MailChimp list, or you can set up a command email list. And you can see I use command email because you can actually have more than one list. In MailChimp, you can only have one. So I have a few different ones set up in here. You can create a list from this view.
You have a using SmartPlan, not using SmartPlan list?
Yes. Yeah, it's because I'm one of the numbers that I get judged on is how many agents in the office are using smart plans, and so I track that because they track it about me. All right, so you can still only.
Glad I help your numbers.
So let's see, we can only add, I believe, up to 50 onto a list at a time. But I am hearing rumors that very soon that number is going to increase tenfold. So,
yeah, that would be huge.
Yes, and they're teasing it. I keep hearing it's going to be coming out tomorrow, this week, and we'll
The
see.
50 thing is super annoying.
Oh, super annoying.
Like I should be able to click all one thing and do something for I don't know. I think reverse search stuff will be better sooner or later too. Like being like the filters, like being like.
Yep, having like that negative search, being able to say like, search all contacts without SP instead of me having to create a non-SP tag.
Yeah, I don't know what SP is, but yeah, screw those SPs.
Smart plan. It's the
Oh no! Smart plans are cool. Those NSPs are bad.
So we can see here, if I try and put all these 100 contacts on here, it's not going to let me confirm that. It's too many. If I try and load more and hit select all again, it's not going to let me do that many contacts at a time. See, let's just try. List name test.
You're gonna email it to people?
No.
Select all.
All right. So let's see if it'll let us add 200 contacts. It usually does not, but yep. Something went wrong on our side. Please try again. So like I said, try and limit it to 50 of adding through the list. I don't personally add things to the list through this menu. I'm going to show you what I actually do. So if I'm going to put somebody on a list, I'll create the list in here, but I'm not adding people to it in this system. I'm just creating it in here. And I'm going into the contacts pane and running it through there. It's just always, it's pretty much the same, but it's always been easier for me to do it this way. And then I can, filter a tag. Say I want to filter.
Because it'll give you 50 at a time exactly.
Yep. And so
that way you don't have to unclick.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, so what is going on here, Command? Come on.
Command and Zoom they're not friends.
They are not friends. So let's see, if I come in here, let's filter out, we've got this changed. Huh, it's companies added in there now. So let's just filter out the ALC, hit apply. And then, so this is a shorter list, it's only 14 people, so I can just actually go in here, select all these, select bulk action, add to email list.
Pretty much everyone on ALC is using smart plans for the most part, right?
Yes.
Some of these people I don't see on this ALC anymore.
Troy is not on the ALC. I don't know why he's tagged as on the ALC.
Raul, I haven't seen since like the. He's not?
I think he went to a different office.
Okay, and then Robert Vasquez I don't think he's on ALC anymore.
He's listed, but yeah, I don't think he participates at all.
No, he doesn't. He was awesome though.
Indeed.
Super smart.
All right. So let's actually now, once you have your email list set up, you're going to come in, and then you actually have to set up the campaign. So that's the last part of this whole thing is so you have to go through designs. The email list, you only have to set up once, right? You can go back to those lists in the future. So I would suggest, at one point making a full contact, like full list that one is like a send all, right? I would recommend having one for buyer sides, for seller sides, and then, leads. There's also ones that are just for leads that I would set up as well. So let's make a new campaign. We come up and we create a new campaign just like we would for any others. But now instead of selecting like social ad or direct mail, we're going to go to email. And the same song and dance applies here. You got to name it. We also have to choose which campaign you want to run it through, Command Email or MailChimp. You can't switch this afterward. All right. And so make sure that you make the selection, and the bigger difference is which list are you going to use, right? So if you made your list in Command Email side, then you're going to want to use Command Email because you can't use MailChimp to send through Command Email list. I pretty much just stay in Command Email. I disconnected my MailChimp, so I just use Command Email. We come in here. We can see here's our list of lists that we can select on who we want to send this to. And so you can see I've already made an ALC 2020. If I wanted to send it to them, KW Downtown I also have as one that's pretty much my entire database. And then it's real simple. You set a subject line. You're invited to my open house. And that's all we have to do here. Now we have to select the design that we just worked on. So we come down to content. And it says select design content for your email. And then the one that we just worked on right here, we can see where it dropped into my templates. So if I wanted to, I could come in here and I could start over again and go to one of these templates and use one of those and edit it and go through and do all that from this screen. But I like to start mine before it's a little bit more organized. I can actually come in here to my templates. You can, when you get a little bit more templates in here, you can even filter in this menu. Designed by Keller Williams. I don't know who Michael Lewis is, but they are in here. But then you can also filter them out a little bit more too, because I'm guessing they're going to expand these templates even bigger in the KWRI templates. And so I like seeing this filter. It'll make things easier, especially if they start adding more in. Let's see, we have latest is how it's searched by. We can search them by name. Let's just choose our template. Oh. That's not the one that we wanted. Or was it? It was. All right, we save and exit. Is that gonna work? There we go. And so now we have the email that we designed. Looks good. Last check on here. So if we do need to make a change, we can update design down at the bottom again. Then it's just going to bring us right back into that same window where if we want to come in, make any changes, click on this one. I can come in, make any last minute changes, but we already set all that up. Hit save. And that's it. Now we would want to send it out. So as always, I recommend sending yourself a test email first. Make sure it looks the way you want it to. You just
It looks better than it did before. I don't think we centered my logo.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Must be in the template. And so email, you can send this to yourself. You can send it to someone else, your assistant, something like that. It's always just good to make sure it's just looking the way that you expect it to. Now, you could do that, and you can also now schedule the email right from here. So maybe you don't want to send it right now. So you can go down, and I think it's in 1 minute intervals. You can go down to the minute of when you want to send it on exactly what day and time you want that email to go out. So, I'm thinking maybe you could write one for Halloween right now and send out a cool Halloween email with some of these templates. I might wait though, because I bet KWRI might come out with one first. But I can schedule the email out, or I can just hit send, which it will send then in the next 2 minutes out to during that time. And so definitely lots of ways to be successful with this. I can think of lots of different ways that I might use this just in general, because these are so customizable between just listed, just sold, you know, promoting classes, things like that, all kinds of options outside of just open house, just listed, just sold kind of ideas. All right. And Brian, that's it. It's 2:50. That's all I had for you today. That's the whole kit and
In the
caboodle.
caboodle. It's a lot.
It is a lot, and that's why I didn't want to go into too much more today,
Yeah.
because it's a lot. You got to get in there and kind of play around, and you know, working in that editor is, I've learned a little bit, and I shared what I've learned with just trying to figure it out and how testy it can be sometimes. But you know, it's pretty easy to use once you get in there. All right. What other questions do you have? I got a couple more minutes, and then I got to start returning the phone calls that I've been getting.
No, I'm all good. That was a lot to try and follow. It's overwhelming, but at least I know where it's at, and then when I'm ready to execute it,